Yeah, 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 yeah. In the days of old, 5 elements were known: MCing, DJing, graffiti had grown, B-boy and knowledge, the pillars of the game. But a 6th emerged, adding to the flame. Comics and hip-hop, a fusion so tight. Visual storytelling, lyrics that ignite. From the pages to the beats, a seamless blend. The 6th element, where 2 worlds transcend. Welcome to the 6th element show, where comics and hip-hop flow. Reno and Stu guiding the way, bringing you the culture every day. Welcome to the 6th element show, where comics and hip-hop flow. Reno and Stu.
What's good, everybody? 6th Element of Hip Hop. I'm your host, Reno Noir. We got a great show tonight. Daredevil double feature, y'all. Yes, sir. Episodes 5 and 6 both landed on us at once. They're not really like a 2-part either. It's 2 completely separate episodes. So we're going to chop those up. Stu Dog is with us today. He's going to bust it up with us today. He's got an interesting story to grace us with this evening. But before that, we're going to talk about real quick. We did get, like I said, the Easter eggs for you guys for episodes 5 and 6. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Y'all know how we do. Comic book characters, comic book Easter eggs. That's how we get down over here. We trying to show y'all the comic side of things. You know what I'm saying? With the hip hop flavor. You know what I mean? Batman Part 2 gets a new title. That happened. Jim Lee, the great Jim Lee, my favorite comic book artist of all time, the GOAT, is back on Batman. Oh, yes, it's happening. Tell you about that. Peacemaker season 2. We got the villain up in there, and Graham Nolan. We got the new Absolute Bane from Absolute Batman. Bish. So we're gonna bust that up. And in the meantime, in between time, what up, Stu Dog? Bring it to the crib. What up? What up? Peace, peace, peace. Oh, that's not Stu Dog. Who was that? That's Orion from the New Gods, in case you didn't know. But yeah, Stu Dog, he's getting I think he's getting his beverage for the show. But before we get into it, man, we got a little bit of I'll give you a little update before Stu gets here. G.I. Joe Classified. We got some we got some new info for y'all. We got the new lineup coming down the road, man. We got some new introductions. We got some new leaks, rather. Well, it wasn't much of a leak. Honestly, it's not like new information, to be totally honest. It's we kind of already knew who was coming, but it's finalized. It's what do you call it? Confirmed. Snake Eyes version 4, Sci-Fi, Monkey Wrench, and Night Viper. It's a decent lineup. I'm down with it. The thing is like Monkey Wrench was the dreadnought of my era. Like he came in at my age. Like I was a little younger than my older cousins who had the original team. So Monkey Wrench came in. That was my first dreadnought. And then of course Sci-Fi was the green, bright green, fluorescent green dude with all the bright colors. He was the first of the bright colored figures. Snake Eyes version 4 is a big letdown for me because we've already done version 1 and version 2, and then they just skipped right over my probably favorite one, version 3, which was again my era. That's the one where he's got the butterfly swords on his chest and a 3-piece staff and the all black. And oh man, we need to
Oh
see it.
yeah. I
Yeah,
forgot about that snake. That was a dope snake. That was a popular Snake Eyes.
they
Everybody
don't.
kind of liked. Everybody liked that one. Maybe they
Yeah, they
saving
don't.
it for. Maybe they just saving it. I don't know, bro.
Lenny's what it was Lenny's favorite was version 4. So instead of like he's just like I can't wait. We got to skip version 3 and jump right to 4.
Oh come on, Lenny.
Yeah,
Stop
it's
it.
not cool, not cool at all.
Stop it, Lenny.
But shout out to Stronnox Customs. They did do some nice custom versions of these figures. That well, here's Hasbro's version of Snake Eyes version 4. That's what's coming, and you know it's decent. It's decent, but this one that this custom dude made up is pretty badass. He's got the reason I knew it was custom right off is because it's got Dr. Mindbender's arm braces, which is cool because those look really cool. I don't know what else, who's what's is what on here. Obviously that's like a custom head there, but pretty cool looking custom job there. Monkey Wrench looking phenomenal, dude. If Monkey Wrench comes out looking half this fucking cool, I'll be happy. But obviously he's not gonna have
Yeah,
this much detail and shading and weathering and all that, But really cool looking. Very
and it's really close to the original, like the way he's
well,
made. Like
yeah. I mean, some
it's
artists, some artists made this to look like the original. He even showed this. He said this is the one he got the his inspiration from. So that's the original right there. He
yeah.
even put the patches on his jeans. See, you see, he's got the actual patches in the right spot. Classified's not going to do that. Like Classified
Nah, they're not. They're
be this
not.
good.
Yeah, they're not. They're not. But that's why I sent it to you because they look so good and they look better than the stuff they showed us on the live stream like about
Oh,
a week ago.
well, it's going to be better than
Um,
anything Classified Hasbro does. These are way better than
yeah,
Hasbro. I mean,
like
Hasbro can't do this kind of work in a what do you call it? Like a mass production. Cuz this is custom. I mean, this is high this is like fly ass paint jobs, and I mean, this is totally decked out. Like look at these, all type of different colors and shit all over in the backpack. Um, yeah, this is really cool. But that's the OG. There's the OG. Night Viper again, mad weathering, mad shading in the wrinkles and shit. But man, this thing is fucking spot on. Like I mean, they made an amazing figure. When you look at that's the original. Like that's pretty
mm,
damn close. I mean, it's
yeah,
great
that
for a
is.
custom job.
Yeah, that is for a custom job. Yeah.
But yeah, those are I just wanted to show that real quick while we're waiting for you to pop in. Speaking of toys and figures and shit, before we get into Daredevil Born Again episodes 5 and 6, recap, breakdown, Easter eggs, and all that good shit, and we got some cool shit to talk about too. Stu has a story for us. A
Oh
story
yeah.
about toys,
Scalp.
figures,
Yeah. And
scalpers.
scalping at his best. Yeah. So I'm in Target. I go there to pick up some things. Someone said, let me check and see if they got any Orion figures. They should be here. So I go back. Woman has three of them on a cart, and then she has two other figures. I forget what they were, but they were all five of the same. There were five figures, three were the same, and two were the same. So I thought she was putting the figures out. So I grab one. So she gets up, she looks, she says, hey, oh, I'm sorry, you can't take that. I said, why not? She said, oh, it's a customer. I'm filling an online order. I thought that she was
Mine order.
putting them out. Right. I thought she was putting them out. By the way, she was maneuvering with them. So I says, well, listen, I said, I'm a collector. I said, and I just want one. Like I said, if you send the person three, they're gonna put them up on eBay. So they're literally gonna wind up on eBay. At least all three of them or two of them. Now here's the kicker: they're on sale as well, which was a double bonus. So she says, "Well, I can't do that. That's not fair to the person that's getting them." That I said, "Yeah, but I'm here right now. Like I am
Not fair to the
physically in the store." That's what she's. This is what the Target employee told me. That
But
it's
they
not
don't know no
fair.
better. That's what they think.
Exactly. Exactly.
You gotta
But
break it down.
according to her, they do. Yeah, according to her, that they know better somehow. That the customer who ordered it would have known that she gave me one, just
Oh yeah,
one
because she already
figure.
logged them into the computer, right?
Right. So I said, well, even if you log it into the computer, you could be like, you made a mistake. That happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, but I'm physically here now, so I don't understand why I can't have one. She said, well, we don't have any more, and those were the last three, plus the other two figures that she pulled off the shelf. So I was like, okay, okay. So I get my product. I go home. I go on to Target.com, and I order just one, just one, and it came the same day. So I had to deliver it the same day, and it cost me $20.
Hmm.
So
I thought you was gonna say you got the manager, and they made him give
oh well
you
yeah, yeah. Well,
fine.
before all that I called the manager. I
So
was
what
like, well,
happened?
give me your manager. So I was like, because obviously you can't make that decision. So she says, okay. They call him down. We took about a good 5 minutes to get somebody in charge. They came out and I'm talking to him. Like, listen. I don't understand what the problem is. She has two. She has three on the cart. I only want one. I'm here now in the store. And I was like, and she won't give me one. He was like, yeah, it's an online order. Da, 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 da. I said, yeah. I said, but what would it hurt to give them two? I take one and they get two. And he was like, well, they can track the order from their home. Like once we put it in the computer, it'll say what's in the cart, yada, 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 so forth and so on. So I was like, well, what difference would it make? If you gave me one, you can just tell you made a mistake. You thought you had three, but you only have two. I said, I don't think that the person is going to be, upset because
It's a scalper.
they're getting two. It's a scalper. They're getting two. So I was like, if you go online, you'll see them on there for double the price that they sell for in the store.
Mhm.
So he's like, well, I don't want to get involved with all that. Yeah, so forth, so on. It was like, but I'll check another Target
You
and I can
are
order it
involved.
for you. Yeah, I was like, I don't want to do that. I want one of those. So he was like, I'm just so very sorry. So they wouldn't give me one. So I had to go home. I ordered one. It came in the same day and all of that. So then they had the snake armor. I had a hell of a day. They had the snake armor they released on Hasbro Pulse. I go on there. They're all sold out. The
Yeah.
Hasbro Pulse said limit is 5.
Yeah.
So I said, well, let me just check Scalper Island. I go on Scalper Island. They're all up on eBay for $175 each.
Oh
Now this
yeah.
is a $74 vehicle, the Cobra Snake Armor, and it's on eBay, aka Scalper Island, $174 each. One guy
Yeah.
had I ran into multiple sellers that had like 7 of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you got 7. You selling them for 170. You selling them for double. Actually, you're making more than 100% profit on the
Yeah. They're
product,
getting $100 in profit off every one.
right? Which makes no sense.
None.
Hasbro, if you're listening, restock for us regular folks, please, so we can just get one. That's all we want. Is just one. And I don't want to pay $175 for one because you don't
And you didn't
charge
get one though?
$175. When I went on there, by the time I got on there, I got bought it. I had one in my cart and then it disappeared. When I was checking out, I got bought it. And that's the game now. If you go listen, if you go to order something online and the scalpers are there waiting, they use bots to place their orders. The bot is faster than a human. He can type faster than me. He can put the stuff in the cart faster than me. He can check out faster than me. And he can get in there and get away with 5. They put their credit card in. It's all automated. That's how they
Uh-huh.
disappear and they get them so fast. And then as soon as they get them, like they're selling pre-orders on eBay. Last year when Elden Ring came out, when they had the demo, people were selling the demo of Elden Ring on eBay for like $60, $70. I think the highest one I seen was 100. The demo, not the game, not the full game, the demo. They were selling them on Scalpers Outlet. The demo. Stop, people. Stop. They outlawed it in Europe that you can't scalp things on eBay for a certain amount of time. So if something comes out in Europe, I think they give you within 30 days or something like that, you can't
Uh-huh.
resell it on eBay for triple the price or double the price. Now they did that in Europe,
They'll
but
never do that in
here,
America
no,
because it's a
they'll
capitalist
never
country.
do that in America.
It's a
Exactly.
capitalist country. It's all about hustling. It's all about hustling.
It is. It is. And they're hustling, bro. And if you go in there now, you go on eBay, you'll see the snake arm on there for $175, 174.99 or whatever they charge. Plus, wait a minute. Here's the better kicker. Plus shipping. I don't think I saw one with free shipping. And the shipping was like $18.
Mm.
$8, 18. Stop. Stop, scalpers. Stop. And for all the rest of you collectors out there, don't buy from eBay. Don't buy from Amazon. Buy directly from the main manufacturer. That way we can stop this. Because some of you guys get desperate and you'll pay that price. But if you pay that price, then that means they expect somebody else. And if you get desperate, save your money. Like if you don't
Mm.
get it, then we just don't get it. They'll just be all sitting on eBay. And sooner or later, they're going to have to dump them for a fair price. So let them get stuck with them and don't buy from scalpers out.
It's a tragic situation, y'all, but it is what it is. In this world of collecting, that's how we get down. Stu Dog, you gotta get some statues and stuff in your background, bro. We gotta see your credentials, man. Because that's how we get down. But that's what we do. That's the game we play. But it is what it is, guys. We're gonna get into this topic, guys. It's Daredevil. It's episode 5 and 6. We got a double feature. It's double D, y'all. Double D. Daredevil, double
Double
D.
D Day, Double D Day,
That's what I'm
double
talking about, man. Yeah, man.
Daredevil, Double D Day.
Yeah, man. A nice two-piece. A nice two-piece, 1-2 piece to the jaw with a pair of superb episodes that I think showcase what makes Matt Murdock the character that he is, a dope character. And though episode 5 and 6 don't really make up, it's not really a two-parter. It's not. They didn't. I thought they put it out because it's a two-parter, completely unrelated. But they were aired together, so we're gonna bust them both down in one shot. Now, the first is a very dope episode, mostly built to a single setting, while the second one is the long awaited return of Daredevil, in rousing fashion. But the past few episodes had us hungry, man, for this type of shit. We've been starving for that action. And now almost the entire runtime of episode 5 takes place inside a bank during an armed robbery staged by a clever gangster who seems to be one step ahead of the police. Kind of must have an inside track, and so Murdoch is in an interesting place. He puts himself in that place where he still doesn't suit up yet as Daredevil. Yet he can't really help but literally walk into danger and try to help the hostages, but because he is the man without fear, right? That's his whole deal. He's fearless, and even when he's wearing a suit instead of the superhero armor, he's still Daredevil in his heart, and it's dope to watch Murdoch navigate these intense situations using you know his inner lawyer smarts and senses, also with using his superpowers and ultra hearing and senses to try and keep a low profile. But it's dope. It's mad funny, and it's just very well done. I can't really remember the last time that Marvel had a show that really had me, really digging it like that, really happy, smiling the whole time, man. The entire episode had me completely consumed and just immersed. This episode, I think, achieved something very important given the lack of Daredevil dumb this far. Because it kind of what makes Matt Murdock such a unique, and amazing hero, even when he's not in costume. So, yeah. Okay. The episode contains what has to be, I think, Born Again's most overt connection to the MCU. A lot of people found this to be lame. A lot of people were upset by this. It's just how they're connecting to the MCU. But you have Yusef Khan, who is Kamala Khan's dad in Ms. Marvel, who's a mainish character in the episode. He's a bank manager, bank assistant manager, assigned to help Matt Murdock with his bank loan. And so he even kind of feels like the episode uh it I don't know, it references the MCU a couple of times, but mainly with the Ms. Marvel reference, right? So they literally name Ms. Marvel very blatantly, right? And you know I think Yusuf, adorable Papa Yusuf, pulls it off well, and the actor who plays him, plays the character with a nice infectious sort of humor and energy, and his surprised and mildly hurt reaction when Matt Murdock has never heard of Kamala Khan, uh, you know, uh, is priceless. Once things get dangerous, though, after the bank robbers show up, Yusuf makes an entertaining counterpart, it's kind of sidekick to play off of from Matt Murdock. And when the heist is busted up by the police, you have the leader trying to sneak away in disguise, and so it's dope to watch Matt Murdock chase him down, wearing the other. All the robbers wear a mask, and they all wear a different color mask, and one's yellow, one's blue, one's red, like that. So he wears the red mask and grabs the robber's red mask and chases the other robber in the red mask. Kind of like it's like it's Daredevil. He's got the red mask, it's Daredevil kind of thing. But their brawl is really fast and frantic and tense, and given everything Murdoch, had to endure from that guy during the heist, he's a real dick. Really fucked with him, especially it was really satisfying to watch him, take him down. That knee stomp was I had to rewind that shit a couple times. Very, very satisfying. But moving on to episode 6, we get a very different yet no less enthralling kind of story. And this is the story I've been waiting for. I almost feel like, you know what, Stu? I think they put these two together because they knew episode 5 was a filler, and they knew people would be like,
Yeah.
motherfucker, you just went
Yeah.
like 3 in a row without Daredevil, motherfucker. Nah. So they had to put 6 in here on tonight. The artist serial killer Muse, who we've been being teased, becomes a huge problem for both Mayor Fisk and Daredevil to deal with, and he ends up forcing them to go to two distinct extremes. And so it's real, it's dope watching Fisk trying to deal with a villain for once, because he's always been the villain, and so it kind of tests that character, I think, in a way that we've never really seen before. And so ultimately he's using Muse to create an excuse to create a task force of bad cops who also happen to be huge Punisher fanboys, the cops with the Punisher tattoos, considerably
Tattoos, yeah.
increasing his level of power and control over the city, now that he's got this little army of Fiskites. And so Fisk also tends to, his personal matters, when he gives, the poor imprisoned Adam a chance to fight for his life, even though Adam, the guy from the cage, is a character that kind of feels underdeveloped at this point. But the brutal violence is very, very, very brutal, and just what we've been really waiting for. And I think as a respectable, as a respectable a face, as Fisk puts on as mayor, underneath it all, he's just the same. He's fucking Kingpin. And so we get to kind of, he just kind of, we see that behind closed doors unleashing of Kingpin that he doesn't really show in public. So that's cool. And obviously it's very satisfying to see Daredevil back. Daredevil, not Matt Murdock, but Daredevil. You know what I mean? On the opposite
Yeah.
side, Muse targeting Angela Del Toro, because remember, White Tiger, everybody's like, oh wow, that's really cool. They did the male version of White Tiger. Well, guys, they only did the male version of White Tiger so they could kill him right off before we ever see him really do anything, so that they could introduce and basically give the origin story for their actual White Tiger, which is Angela Del Toro, the White Tiger that we saw die niece. And in the comics, there's a White Tiger character who, in modern times, has been succeeded by his niece, who took on the mantle. And so the walking Angela Toro is kind of the walking stick that breaks the camel's back for Murdoch, and finally, pushing him to finally put on the goddamn costume, wear the fucking devil horns, and stalk the night, right? And so I was a little disappointed with the actual moment where Murdoch chooses to become Daredevil again, right? Because it's kind of funny, hearing him make such a flippant remark when there's such a long and moody build up to his return, to costumed vigilantism. But I would have preferred something more earnest, something more in the line with the serious tone that we've been dealing with, in a more darker, tone. And so how many times did we watch him fade with that horn piece and deep contemplation about Foggy's death, and his fear of unleashing the monster within, just for him to like, fuck it, it didn't work. And so, it's nerd nitpicking, but I have to point out the very
But
goofy
it's necessary.
CGI that
It's necessary. It's necessary.
no, but
It
I'm
is nitpicking, but
saying
it's
the
necessary.
no, no,
It's
no.
necessary.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what I'm about to say is nerd nitpicking. There's some kind of goofy CGI that Daredevil that flies across the screen at the start of the fight with Muse, and it feels like I don't know, another bit of the MCU's worst habits intruding the show, where lackluster CGI is used in place of practical fights, choreography that Daredevil,
Mm.
made its name on. I mean, that's what the show built itself on, and there's no reason that you can't just have the goddamn fight in person with the actual stuntmen and the choreographer. We don't need to see CGI versions of characters flying across the screen. That shit is lame. And it doesn't ever look real. We know what it is every time. It looks like Roger Rabbit. Quibbles aside, the sequence of Daredevil tracking down Muse and having an absolute brutal brawl across the villain's bloody art studio sewer hideout is dope. Now, it is very, very satisfying seeing Daredevil back finally for this episode and this show, but it does come at a cost. Of course, Murdoch's deal with Fisk from the first episode now means that he's got a target on his back, and it's a little ironic that for Murdoch to save the city, he's got to damn himself. But that's kind of always been the aspect of Daredevil, kind of Batman, kind of just kind of the way now they got to chase me. It's a powerful characteristic that characters like Daredevil in this show, Born Again, is showcasing. I think in a new way. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, Daredevil, I
No,
think, comes back with this double episode that shows precisely what makes the character tick, and whether he's a civilian or the vigilante. The bank robbery episode is an unexpected little, I think, filler treat that is just a little creative bit of storytelling. It's almost a one shot comic. If this was a comic series, that'd be like a one shot. But the wait for Daredevil to show up again and actually be Daredevil, we've waited a long time. They couldn't make us wait another week, or motherfuckers would have rioted in the streets. But I think it was worth it. Yeah. Episodes do have a few characteristically MCU type quality issues between the ill-paced humor and the ill-executed CGI. It's a little bit departure from the Netflix quality, but it is the MCU now. So
it is. Yeah, and you can tell by the writing as well. Um, in the episode where he was in court with White Tiger and they were trying to prove his innocence, and he revealed that who White Tiger was to the court.
are you
Um,
talking episode
if
4?
yeah, if you really listen to the dialogue where he talks about being a vigilante and things like that, he's describing himself. And whoever wrote this has put Daredevil in a position. I mean, I call it trap writing because you paint yourself into a corner because now he's denouncing vigilantism, but he is a vigilante. And it's like a double-edged sword. He's telling you you can't be White Tiger, but I can be Daredevil when it suits me or whenever I get over my thing that's going on in my head, and I'll be Daredevil. But I don't know why they chose to make it the Matt Murdock show. They should have just called it Matt Murdock and not Daredevil because we've seen a lot of Matt Murdock and we've seen a lot of his struggles. When the Netflix series was here, it was the exact opposite. He was
Mm.
Daredevil, but he still had the struggles about being, but he didn't. But he suited up every night, and he had those nuances in his
Yeah.
mind when he was Daredevil. When he was Matt Murdock, he really didn't think about it. He just was like, I go out, and it would be after he did whatever he did, he'd really be thinking about it. But then he'd always would come back to the city needs me. Hell's Kitchen needs me. Whatever goes down to Hell's Kitchen, I'm gonna stop it. And I'm not afraid to do so. And also the Montclair was the fight Murdoch. You know, it was there. It told you who Daredevil was. But in this series, It's telling you who he doesn't want to be or he's struggling to be mentally, not physically, because we know he can do it. It's just mentally he's struggling with it.
Yeah.
And I think nowadays most writers, because everything's cliche and everybody uses each other, they're kind of inspired by each other. But I think a lot of writers, when they write superhero um, stories, they put in the struggle of them being eventually like Batman had a problem being Batman. Superman never had a problem with being Superman. In the comics, Daredevil doesn't have a problem suiting up and being Daredevil. But you get to the MCU, and they do. Tony Stark has a problem being Iron Man for a little bit. The weight of the
I think I
crown
think
for
I think
T'Challa.
I think every superhero's pretty much gone through that trope. Spider-Man, Batman, they've all been like, I'm gonna give it up for a while, or they quit, or they lose their powers. I mean, you've seen this trope in every single superhero story
Yeah,
there is. They do it to
and
death,
it comes.
and it's like
But Hollywood.
sick of
But
it.
my point is, Hollywood does it.
Hollywood
That's
always
my
does
point.
it.
Hollywood
Yeah,
does.
they
They
like
do
to.
it so much, right? It's just time for something new. Like, I mean, you're gonna have to give us something new, Hollywood, because we're the superhero or vigilante struggling with his abilities and what he can do and can't. That's It's old now. I mean, you ran it in a
Oh,
hole. Yeah, we enjoyed it when we first saw it, but now it's
but
like,
but it's good to see Daredevil back now, and see him back in the suit, um, doing his
oh,
thing now.
it was 100%. It was 100% like a relief, man. Because when you think about Danny Rand when they did Iron Fist, the director straight up told everybody, "I'm never gonna put him in the suit. It's never gonna
Mhm.
happen." And we all saw how that turned out.
Okay, EGC. I miss that. I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, we spoiling. We spoiling. Sooner or later, the no suit policy will kill the show. Wink, wink. Iron Fist. Yeah, I mean, it's good that the no suit policy is finally over, and we're back to the suited up version of Daredevil. And now that, but I want to talk a little bit about a cameo that we see in episode 6. I mean, it's no secret that the Hawkeye show character star Tony Dalton has been cast in the series. We talked about that, last month. Now, here we kind of get to see him in action, and with all his swordsman abilities, and so it's only through some kind of blurry security footage, but he seemingly embraced being a vigilante after crossing paths with Clint Barton and Kate Bishop a couple of Christmases ago in Hawkeye. And so, but this won't be the last we see of Jack Duquesne in Daredevil Born Again. Obviously, this sort of security footage is a typical technique of foreshadowing. So we'll see this character again soon. The episode also features the aforementioned of Mayor Fisk's anti-vigilante task force, right? So he's turning again to those Punisher cops and all that. So, but yeah, we learned that he's arrived in New York City from Chicago, where he took the law into his own hands and beat up a drug dealer for information. And this is a huge change to the comics, where uh, Cole was Detective Cole North, the cop, the Punisher following fanboy cop. He's in New York again from Chicago. Again, he did some bullshit, got in trouble. In the comics, in Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil run, which you see a couple issues of on my wall right there, my favorite, I think the best Daredevil run. He was an honest cop who set out to take down Daredevil, and he was accused of murdering a street thug. And later, Fisk orders him to bring down Spider-Man, and the detective eventually left, uh, NYPD to help Daredevil and Elektra battle the Hand. Now, they have Chicago in common in the comics and the show. This Cole North in the show simply appears to be just a straight up bad guy, whereas in the comics he was not. So a lot of comic fans are going to be a little disappointed here. I was mildly disappointed. It's not a character I'm heavily invested in or anything, but it was a cool character in the comic, and um, That's it. You see him? You see the Daredevil wearing the Punisher shirt? Yeah. Um. So on the plus side, when Angela Del Toro is kidnapped by Muse, uh, Matt finally gives into his impulses and suits up as Daredevil, and to take the fight to the serial killer. And Daredevil is finally back, right? So and then we have Marvel's uh famous, blind lawyer with heightened abilities is fighting for justice through his bustling law firm now, while the former boss Wilson Fisk pursues his own political endeavors in New York. While their past identities begin to emerge, both men find themselves on an inevitable collision course. Says the tagline. A masterpiece of epic proportions, Daredevil Born Again delivers a powerful, unmissable take on the man without fear, putting street level heroics on the map in a way that promises to change the MCU forever. The show sublimes superhero storytelling on a whole new level. Yeah, 6 episodes of Daredevil are now streaming on Disney Plus. Yeah, so I mean, I think this was a dope fucking episode in and of itself. It's the episode I think we've been waiting for. Episode 5 again. That's like a freebie. So just take that as like a gift, right? A little freebie. Don't
Little
don't don't
freebie.
uh, don't
They
hold it.
don't.
Don't hold it too much against them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. But
But despite our
lots of
differences with
Easter eggs.
despite our differences with it, I'm still cool with it for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah,
Good.
like
It's a good show.
yeah,
It's good
it's
writing.
just a good show. Yeah.
It's well acted. Definitely well written.
Yeah, I'm still good. I'm still
It
good with it.
looks good. Um, but yeah, here's a couple of Easter eggs that we found from the episode. It says Easter eggs. Or so yeah, we got Yusef's dad. Like I said, that's Kamala Khan's dad from the Marvel show. He throws up his little Kamala Khan Funko Pop and shows Matt Murdock, who is blind and can't see it. So that was kind of just a funny scene. He's like, "Yeah, this is your Funko," and he's like showing it to him. And he's like, "Dude, fucking blind." And this is not even a legit Funko Pop, too. Like they made this on the set real quick or some shit because this is like not official. But Kamala Khan, they reference her. Obviously, that's Kamala Khan. Reference her currently being in California, meeting friends, which is likely connected to her plan to recruit Cassie Lang and Kate Bishop's Hawkeye for a Young Avengers team, as was teased in the Marvels post-credits scene. So that's happening. Jersey City again is referenced. I don't know. Honestly, uh Easter egg 18, 17, 16, 15 are all, I think, one Easter egg. They referenced Jersey City, Kamala Khan, and Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. That's it. They referenced Miss Marvel. That's an Easter egg. Matt's childhood. Oh, being raised in St. Agnes. During the bank robbery, Matt Murdock tells the lead thug that he was an orphan, connecting his childhood to the original Netflix series where Matt Murdock was raised by nuns at St. Agnes Orphanage following the death of his father. So, I kind of thought that was a weird thing because I guess he was just like, I don't know. So the bank robber asks him, where's your family from? Because he hears that he has an Irish name, and he's like, where's your family from? And then he's like, Hell's Kitchen. He's like, yeah, motherfucker, I mean, before they came to America, in Ireland. And he's like, I don't know. I'm from an orphanage. Like, I'd never had parents. I was born in an orphanage, which is bullshit. Obviously, his dad is Battling Jack Murdoch, the famous boxer that famously, I didn't quite get that one, but maybe he was just trying to not tell the bank robber the truth. But because he lived in an orphanage, but that would have nothing to do with him not knowing his family's heritage because he lived with his dad until he was like a teenager. So I don't know. A really good one. Well, I don't know if he's a teenager in the show, but he was definitely fucking not a little kid. they showed the damn origin, or am I thinking of Ben Affleck? Yeah. 13, a really good one, connecting Spider-Man No Way Home. And this is what I love. I love when they connect Spider-Man, bro, because I want to see Kingpin and Spider-Man get down. After cracking the bank vault with the heightened scenes, Yusef asks Matt what kind of lawyer he is. Matt responds that he's a really good lawyer, a callback to a similar response Peter Parker made in No Way Home when he caught a brick through a thrown window. Wearing a red mask, Murdoch returning to Daredevil is inevitable. So I guess they're saying that this is a Easter egg foreshadowing that he's gonna wear the costume again. And honestly, this being, I think, the third episode in a row, third or fourth, that we don't see him in the costume. So it doesn't go without saying, is he gonna ever fucking put the thing on again or not? But and he still doesn't in this episode, but he wears the red mask, and that's as much as we get for episode 5. Of course, 6, he does put it back on. Easter egg 11, future dinner with the Khans. Again, this is part of that first Easter egg. Come on. The Swordsman is still active in New York. So this is what I was talking about earlier. The Jack Duquesne, a.k.a. the Swordsman, one of the vigilantes from the Hawkeye show from 2021. There it is. And we see it on the phone there. And then Punisher was Murdoch's client. Let's see. Heather Glenn references Murdoch's wealth of experience working for vigilantes. 8. Murdoch's connection to Daredevil. What? Heather also asked Matt if he could get her an interview with Daredevil for a new book, confirming that Murdoch and Daredevil are somewhat linked with each other based on the events of the... What? Is this shit written by AI?
It's gotta be.
Do y'all fucking not understand that Matt Murdock and Daredevil are the same fucking person? Hold on. Somewhat linked to each other based on the events of the particularly Daredevil season 3 and the everything that bring down Fisk, both as Murdoch and as the Man Without Fear. Whatever that Easter egg means. Muse's murals are permanent. There we go. New York sanitation confirms that all of Muse's murals seen in Daredevil Born Again are basically permanent, with the disturbing artist using an epoxy and human blood in his work, just like in the original Marvel comics, where Muse similarly created murals that opposed Mayor Fisk's and supported vigilantes. Yeah, I mean, okay, but it's not like they can't be painted over. Don't rely on anyone. Teasing the second white tiger. So again, this is the second white tiger. Angela Del Toro tells Murdoch that her uncle once told her, don't rely on anyone to do what you can do for yourself. Angered by Murdoch's interaction, this line not only confirms Angela taking matters to... Well, I'm not going to read all this. We know that she's going to be the white tiger. That's what they're talking about here. And honestly, she's a great actress to play the character. She's done really good so far. Jack Duquesne meets with Kingpin. This dude, what a character. Tony Dalton's Jack Duquesne makes an even bigger appearance in the episode. We already talked about that earlier. I don't know why they're saying that again. Really? Are you really Muse? Mirroring the comics. This is what I love. All right, so here's Muse in the comics doing an actual mural of Punisher in support of vigilantism against Fisk. And then what? We have 2 young ladies walking up. Excuse me, but are you actually him? Kind of like a Banksy reference, I guess. Like Muse, he's this famous street artist that you never see, and they just can't believe that he's actually there. Are you actually Muse? He said, I just signed my name to this piece, didn't I? I would never take credit for someone else's work. That's a crime. And she said, oh, wow. Do you mind if can we get a picture with you? He says, my pleasure. Scene with 2 women appearing. Muse asks for selfie direct in the original, direct nod to the original comics, mirroring one of the first time Muse appears on the page. So yeah, that was like a little selfie that he does in the show. You saw this is the comic that it's from. We can use this. Fisk taking advantage of Muse's spree. So yeah, Fisk and the ongoing Muse using the crisis to take advantage, like I was saying a little bit ago about him using Muse's serial killing as an advantage to kind of illustrate his point that these people are out of control, these vigilantes. To Detective Cole North, this is the third Easter egg they're showing that really is part of one Easter egg, talking about Detective Cole North, handpicked from Mayor Fisk's new initiative, a new MCU character from the comics who was so yeah, I was just talking about him a few minutes ago. This is the cop from the Daredevil Chip Zdarsky run that was a good guy in the comic and is a straight up asshole in the show. And then number one, Mayor Fisk's anti-vigilante task force that I mentioned earlier as well. This is the bad guy cops. There we go. A lot of Easter eggs, but yeah,
whole lot.
a whole lot. Good show though.
Yeah.
Good show.
Really good show. Yeah.
Now, next on the agenda, I mentioned in the title of the video and mentioned at the beginning that Jim Lee, the great Jim Lee, my favorite comic artist, who was, in my opinion, the best Batman artist ever, is now back on Batman. So like I was like, what? The goat, the god, the godfather, the head of DC is now you know, lowering himself you know, to draw comics again. And it's true. Him and Jeff Loeb are doing Batman Hush 2. It's, I think, the biggest sequel news in comics. It not like a fucking trade paperback or a graphic novel or any shit like that. Just like the original Hush, it's actually just issues of it's number 158 of Batman, number 159 of Batman, number 160, 161, and I believe 162. And that's it. And it's Hush Part 2. Explore the thrilling Silence versus Joker showdown in Batman number 158. It's the first one, the Hush sequel again by Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb. Silence is a villain that is kind of like a okay. So it's coming out this week. Fuck, I gotta call the comic store. Batman 158. And we are gonna, you know, finally get this sequel kicked off, right? So Hush 2 finally begins. I've been waiting for this shit for a minute. And so I mean, it's been 20 years delayed, separated sequel to Hush. The imaginatively titled Hush 2 or Hush 2 or Hush with a 2 instead of a U. And this time it seems that Joker has met someone that he can't just joke to death. And indeed, he gets to talk over the Joker, not something that the clown prince of crime is accustomed to. But yeah, that's going to sting. Yeah. And listen, so I got some imagery here, some comic pages. But this shit, man, I'm excited, bro. God damn it. Jim Lee, baby. Dope.
Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah, that's classic Jim Lee right there, too. That's
It
Silence
is.
holding Joker right there. And bro, he's putting that's Hush right there. He's whispering, I doubt you can hear me.
The damage to your eardrums is incapacitating. The man you encounter tonight has a very unique gift. He goes by many names, but I prefer Silence. I have found in life when you want someone to listen to you, to actually comprehend your intent, do not raise your voice. Quite the opposite.
And then he turns the fucking crank on Joker's braces on his mouth, and he's fucking twists his teeth. Torturing Joker with some sort of fucking dental torture. Looks terrible. Come on, goddamn it. The Joker is being fridge by Hush and Silence. I don't know what that means. Being fridge. This must be a typo.
Cold.
Just
I guess cold. Cold. Instead of saying cold, they just say fridge.
the Joker is being cold by Hush and Silence.
Or I don't know. Or put on ice. I don't know. Put on ice. Cold.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't get that. Yeah, I don't get that
Yeah.
reference either.
I think it's a typo. The Batman is being fridged by Hush and Silence just to get Batman's attention. He's being tortured by Hush and Silence, actually, to do something that not even Batman could, which is kill the Joker. So, who is on Hush's side, and which of the Bat family might switch? Batman number 158 by Jim Lee and Jeff Leb, Batman number 158 Giant Size Edition, and the Batman 159 Black and White Ashcan are published tomorrow or tonight at a special release party. 158. Shit.
It
I
was
hope
158, 159, and what?
160 and 161. Maybe 162. I'm not sure. So there's a giant size special edition. It says this unique version of Batman number 158 presents the amazing artwork of Jim Lee, Williams, and Sinclair at artboard size. Batman number 158 giant size special edition is a special widescreen edition of the pivotal issue, measuring 11 inches by 17 inches and allowing the reader to pore over the stunning details of the breathtaking art. Oh man, I want that. $14.99
You might think that.
in stores today. Shit. And I missed it. I hope there's some still there going to be there Saturday when I get to the LCS. DC offers Batman Ashcan previewing April. I don't fucking care about Ashcans. Man, oh man. Well, Jim Lee is my man. He's the homie. That's the dope dude. That's my favorite artist in comics. And he is back on, I think, one of his best work, which is Batman. Batman and the X-Men. His X-Men was fucking. Speaking of Batman, The Batman Part 2 gets a very strange title change on Warner Brothers' website days before the CinemaCon panel. Where the funk is it?
What you looking for?
Huh? Oh, okay.
I said, what you looking for?
It was discovered on the Spanish Warner Brothers website that the film had received a title change from The Batman Part 2 to Untitled Batman Film.
What?
It's a slightly strange alteration considering that Warner Brothers' CinemaCon panel is just 6 days away, and the panel is set to be 2 hours long in total. And this could suggest that the Batman franchise may be in for a major announcement, potentially the title drop that would give fans more information about the story and its villain. So, okay, it was called The Batman Part 2. Well, that's fucking not obviously the name. That's just, I mean, honestly, that would just be I would be totally happy with that name. Since the original one's just called The Batman, like, let's keep it basic. The Batman 2. I'm fine with that. But they're not doing that because they changed The Batman Part 2 to Untitled Batman Film, which means the real title is going to be revealed at CinemaCon 6 days from now. And that title, well, they can't reveal it on the website because it's going to give away something that they want to reveal at CinemaCon. Why they didn't just leave the shit alone, As the
Mm.
Batman Part 2, I'll never understand, but that's what they did. I guess they want us to know that they're going to be revealing the title and that it's not the Batman 2, because that's fucking exactly what that tells us. And so this may be our only information for a very long time. The Batman sequel been delayed since till 2027, so it's going to be and Matt Reeves is allegedly yet to turn in a script, and Reeves has since cleared the air and stated that a script is very close to completion, with filming expected to take place this year, 2025. It still will be a 3-year long journey, of course, until we see the movie on any screen whatsoever, or any footage in the form of a trailer. So a title drop would be a great way to keep up hype for the film, Matt, because people are fucking getting bored with the bullshit. Eagle-eyed
Gonna
fans,
have to.
yeah, I
You're gonna have to.
and other fans have also noticed on the website that the genre has been listed as action slash adventure slash sci-fi slash fantasy.
Mhm.
The sci-fi slash fantasy part raises an eyebrow, in my opinion, and it sits in direct contrast to what this franchise is supposed to be, or was kind of advertised to be, or has been so far, a very pragmatic deconstruction of Batman, a very real, and so James Gunn is already firmly ruled out that Clayface could be the villain. So, because Clayface has his own R-rated DCU movie happening.
Maybe this
My
might be his
question,
introduction.
well, no, what? Come on. My question to you is, what does the Batman's relationship to sci-fi fantasy mean? And which character from Batman's Rogues Gallery could possibly balance their strange superhuman abilities with, Matt Reeves's realism? You know,
Mm.
too crazy. Like Man Bat is too crazy. Killer Croc is too crazy. They're too monstrous. They're not realistic. Many have speculated that it could be Mr. Freeze, a metahuman that's really just a guy with a bunch of apparatus and gear that could be right. So this is something that could be very sci-fi, at the same time be grounded and realistic, and at the same time be a dope villain that everybody would be, hell of excited to see. I know I would love to see Mr. Freeze. You got the keys? All right. Hey, yeah, never mind. You're just getting the guys.
Was that it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What else?
How many?
How much is on there?
$2.
Then get 2 packs. Get a green and a blue if you want a blue.
Is that a green and a blue?
Yeah, because I want a green. Yeah, no, you're good. Okay. I don't know, bro. We know Clayface is ruled out. That's the only one that could be possibly sci-fi-ish, fantasy-ish. He's ruled out. I think
Maybe,
Man Bat.
you think Man Bat is considered sci-fi? Mr.
I think
Freeze would be considered. I think
yeah,
Freeze would sci-fi or
yeah. I think Freeze. I think Man Bat and Man Bat, Killer Croc. Those are too animalistic. They're too, they're too unrealistic. Um, Mr. Freeze is someone that balances that line of realism and sci-fi. And that's exactly what we're looking for. We're looking for a character that balances realism and sci-fi. So, who do you think out of Batman's Rogues Gallery?
that's a good one. If I was to go through it, I would say
Realism and sci-fi together.
Freeze would be my first. That would be my first choice.
Yeah, I can't think of nothing better.
Second will probably be maybe No, I ain't gonna say Penguin. You could do. I don't
Penguin
know,
already got
man.
Penguin. He's already in it.
Yeah, Freeze would have to be my number one. That would be my number one choice for sci-fi, and because you can't say it's calendar, man. Maybe Deadshot. If you got
Sci-fi?
some futuristic weapons,
Oh,
the weapons. It's just with the weapons. That's all. I can't think. I mean,
Raish,
Phantasm. I mean, Phantasm was
Phantom,
like, yeah, because
Black
remember Phantasm had
Master
that
Secret.
mask with the with
Yeah,
the with the claw and the. Uh,
I guess
that-
he's more the realistic side.
Prometheus. Prometheus is could be.
What's Prometheus? Remind me of what he does. Who's that?
Prometheus could be one.
Who's
But we
that?
know because we know it's not. We know it's not the. No, I'll get to. We
Remind
know.
me of who is Prometheus.
All right, Prometheus was a dark reflection of Batman. He was he was raised by criminals. So like how he was raised by good people, Prometheus was raised by bad people,
Oh,
criminals. He was raised by some criminals who were gunned down by policemen.
right.
Right in front of his face. How Bruce Wayne's parents were gunned down in front of his
Yeah.
face. The criminals that raised Prometheus were gunned down in front of his face, dictating his life to be Prometheus instead of Batman.
Yeah.
He traveled the world and trained with different murderers and killers. Like Batman traveled the world and honed his skills.
Right.
Everything that Batman did, just think of it in reverse, but in a
Yeah.
bad sort of way, and that's Prometheus. You know what I mean?
Man, that's a fucking dope character that would really fit Matt Reeves' joint. Who's Dr. Hunt?
Dr. Hunt. I don't think I would. Dr. Hunt would be.
Who is that? You know what
I
that
don't think
is?
I ever
Oh, look
heard of
it up.
Dr. Hunt. I don't think I ever heard of Dr. Hunt. No, I never heard of Dr. Hunt.
Google
Is
it.
he in the comics? Is he a comic joint or?
I guess.
I mean, Anarchy. Anarchy would count as somebody that would be.
Sci-fi?
Yeah, because Anarchy has that suit and he uses all that equipment. I mean, I could. Yeah, I
Oh,
could go with
Dr.
that
Hurt.
one.
Not Dr. Hunt, Dr. Hurt.
Dr. Hurt.
I don't know. I never heard of
Wow.
him either.
Never heard of Dr. Hurt. What about Firefly? Firefly could be kind of.
What about Scarecrow? We've already seen Scarecrow.
It
What about
depends on how you do. It depends on how you do Scarecrow. You could do Scarecrow. It depends on how you do him. Like if you made him more techie as far as like administer his what you call it his fear toxin. Like if you made him more
right? And this the fear
techie.
toxin itself is sci-fi. Seeing bats and shit. I mean, seeing demons. The whole thing could be very sci-fi. But honestly, I think we're really just reaching, man, because there's nothing that comes close to Mr. Freeze in that. In
Mr.
that,
Freeze. Yeah, Freeze would have to be the one.
it's got to be Freeze. That's it. It's got to be Freeze.
Yeah, because I can't think of nothing else or anybody else unless you throw Mad Hatter in there because Mad Hatter does use tech. He does use like tech in order to do his mind control. That's that's the only other one I can throw at you.
Yeah,
Or wait.
think
Or Maximilian Zeus, because this Thunderbolt is like Frieza's gun, so it's like it's not a real Thunderbolt, but he uses it
yeah,
like that. So,
yeah.
but other than that, those are the only.
Yeah,
That's my shot in the dark.
I think he Freeze could be, some sort of dude with some sort of disability that makes it where he needs to stay in the cold, and then
Well, he does. He does.
no, I'm
He
saying for
does
the
need to see
movie.
it.
I know, but I'm saying for the movie to make it a realistic Matt Reeves Robert Pattinson, the Batman version of the character. He's not going to be like Arnold with a big fucking bubble and a chrome suit and shit. That's not happening. It's going to be cuz look how different the Riddler. Look at the Riddler
Oh
and
yeah,
figure
yeah, yeah.
how different is he from the Riddler we know. That's how different Mr. Freeze is going to be from the Mr. Freeze we know. So he's going to have like
But
he's going to look
I
like a
think,
regular dude with like a tank
but
on
I
his back.
yeah, I think that they tried to mix because remember, there's a story where Riddler posed as Hush, but he was Riddler. I think that's where they got the inspiration for this Riddler from to make him more,
Oh yeah.
sinister. I think because you know what I
Well, yeah.
mean. I think that's why I think that's where their inspiration for this Riddler came from to be more
I'm
like
talking
Hush.
about no, but I'm talking about the
But Freeze, oh, the cost of doing it, like, but
costume,
Freeze, yeah, Freeze, they're gonna do something. If they do Freeze, they'll do something weird
the
and
costume,
try
bro.
to make it as realistic. It would. I would if I was the director or the producer, I would just stick to the comic and I would just give him a suit and just let him suit up and keep it moving.
Yeah, but
Um,
that wouldn't look good in your movie because your movie is again. I'm talking about the costume that the Riddler wears in the movie. Basically, what I mean by that is, bro, it's a fucking raincoat with like some saran wrap on his head and some goggles. Like it's not a costume that a supervillain wears. So think of things you could find around Home Depot. That's what Mr. Freeze is going to have on, okay? It's going to be shit you can find in your cabinet. Like it's going to be down to earth, real.
well, then I would have to say if he's a scientist, and Freeze is pretty smart in the comics, he
Yeah.
could 3D print a suit and make it out of some type of metal, put it together, weld it
Yeah.
together, like
Art and shit.
and
Yeah.
you can find it. That's realistic enough for me. So we do
Yeah.
have 3D printers that can do stuff like that. So
No, but he's not but what I mean by that is like the Riddler didn't sew a fucking costume. He's just wearing clothes, like, he's just wearing
regular, right? Clothes.
like a mask that he bought. So, like, Freeze isn't gonna be, like, stitching up a costume or making, like, a logo or anything like that. He's just gonna, like I said, have some shit that he had from Home Depot tied on his waist or some shit. What up, bro?
He
Dr. Hurt is
he
the
told me about
mortal ancestor of Bruce Wayne that was
You say
somehow
just go,
thought of,
just
brought
go
to
ahead,
life
something, put it right. Look, I
on
ain't
the
that
dark
creative.
side.
I'm not that creative. I'm not even because I wouldn't be because I don't think I could come up with anything, based in reality that would. I mean, you could. They probably do have like a cold suit or something that would keep him cold, somewhere in the world that's realistic that he got from Amazon or the dark web or something like that. I don't.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah,
just
but it has to be something that kinda, like, we can recognize that there's like, "Oh, we know where he got that." That's one of those things. Like, it'll be like a hazmat suit. Like those fire suits, but they're made of, like, foil? They look like they're, like,
yeah.
aluminum foil. There's
all
like
you
a
need is
like
the
a
suits
flame
from the
suit.
astronauts.
Yeah, or like a flame retardant suit or something like that. Yeah, something like that he fills with some but again, it's
Cause,
gotta be super
cause
basic. It's gotta be super
cause
basic.
every iteration of Freeze, he wears a suit. Even
Right.
in the '66 Batman, if they did it like that, and that
Yeah,
didn't look like future, it was like cloth,
yeah.
but he was in it, and he had a little helmet. He had his little helmet, and he had his little silver suit on, and he had the gun with the backpack. It was powered with the whatever came.
With
I
the
mean,
air
you could do it.
in his back.
Yeah, you could do it. I mean, even if they took that approach, that was
What'd you
just a
say,
regular
Rock
cloth
Hawk?
suit.
Huh?
What'd you say?
I said he
Who's
had
back?
the air conditioner on his back.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So they can do
He got
something.
it.
They
He
can
got
they
it.
can make it happen.
He goes and gets a window unit from the pawn shop and throws that shit on his back with a
Word.
fucking generator. Rah, and he walks around. It sound
Word.
like a lawnmower walking around with a generator. Brrr, fucking AC unit on his back,
That's
pumping it.
basically what Arnold Schwarzenegger had. His stuff looked like he had wind turbines and stuff and all that.
Yeah. But I mean,
That
Matt
suit
Reeves
was dope.
versus that. I mean, definitely not gonna have. I mean, again, compare the Riddler to the Riddler from the comics, right? That's how different so like not a costume, because the Riddler could have sat there and sewed. There's nothing stopping the Riddler from sewing up a question mark costume with question marks all over it. He could have done that. There's nothing in Matt Reeves' universe that says he couldn't create that costume. But they didn't. They're not going with the supervillain creating costumes type thing. The only guy that gets to wear like a costume is Batman. Like the Riddler is wearing like a mask to hide his identity. He drew that like question mark kind of weird symbol, but that's kind of it. He's got like goggles and like a raincoat. It's or like an army coat or something. It's not a made up costume. So I think it would just kind of fall out of that vibe if all of a sudden Mr. Freeze comes in with like a chrome suit, with a big fishbowl bubble and a free. I don't know. I just feel like it kind of has to stay in that same mode. And I'm trying to think of like what could he buy that is a purchasable item that he could buy and make his suit out of.
Well, maybe we're
Like a
looking at it all wrong in Matt Reeves' universe. Maybe Mr. Freeze is just a name. You know what I'm saying? It's not akin to what we know Batman's rogues gallery to be. Maybe
Rogue gallery to be, yeah.
Well, we have this leak saying that it's now that they changed the genre from action adventure or whatever to action adventure sci-fi fantasy.
Oh wow.
So what's making it sci-fi fantasy? We're trying to figure out like what character is both sci-fi fantasy
But you know
and
what? Maybe it's not a. You know what, Reno? Maybe it's just not a character. Maybe because remember that was like year 2 in the first movie. So this will be like a few years later. Maybe it's just the tech. His tech is upgraded. The Batmobile is upgraded. The Batcave is up and working because he didn't have that in the first movie. So
But I
maybe that's what makes, and he's using those things in the movie to help him solve crimes like he does in the comics. And by using those things, maybe that's the sci-fi
and it makes
fantasy, type thing
you're
that they're
saying
going for.
you or okay.
and maybe
Yeah.
just because,
Maybe it's not a character.
and also Mr. Freeze is a scientist. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes,
So
he
maybe
is.
he's just like Dr. Mindbender. He just invents crazy gadgets and stuff like that. And then for his condition,
He
he
makes
has
people
something
paralyzed.
for his neck and his mouth. Something akin to Bane in a sense.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You got the mask on or what have you, and his lungs
Right.
stay frozen. The outer body shell may not
Wow.
need that. It's just his insides that need to be chilled at a certain degree. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Or
he'll
maybe
have
maybe he has an incurable disease, that keeps his insides cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you got to put Nora in there. I think
I mean,
Freeze. Nah, I don't think it's
you'll
gonna be
have
Freeze.
Nora. He'll put
Because
her.
Freeze, that's too complicated. Because you got to have Nora, and that's just, you know what I mean. I don't think
Nah,
they're gonna.
she'll be in
Hollywood ain't that
a
smart.
cryostasis chamber, like a regular cryo chamber that's laid down, not like the fancy stuff we're used to seeing from, the comics. Maybe it's just like a hyperbaric chamber
Right.
type deal. You know
Or
what I
the
mean?
only thing I could think of, raw talk, is
That he
like
sleeps in it
he
and then
gets
he
in,
goes out.
like he'll get in the chamber, he'll cool down, he'll put his
Yeah.
suit on to keep him cool for longer, but he has to go back to the chamber every so often in order to cool back
And he
down,
only
and that's the.
moves at night,
But
like a vampire. He only moves at
yeah, like a
night.
vampire. Yeah, he
Yeah.
only moves. Yeah,
Can't deal with the sun in the daytime because it fuck him up.
Right. Right. Yeah.
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 But I don't think they're gonna go that far. I think that they're just gonna. It's gonna probably be just Batman's tech. I think it's gonna be wildly upgraded.
With what villain?
The Batmobile. No, I don't think it's gonna be the villain. No, I think it's gonna be Batman's tech, the Batcave.
Who is
I
he
think
gonna
he's gonna have
fight?
the Batcave in him.
There's no villain
We
in the
don't.
movie.
We don't. Yeah, it's a villain. I mean,
Who?
it probably will be. I think it's gonna either be Man Bat,
What?
or it could be, it could be Man Bat.
In
Man,
Matt
It could be
Reeves'
She Bat.
universe?
Since Hollywood, listen, since Hollywood is so into females, it could be She Bat. I
nah,
don't know.
G. Nah. Now Cypher.
Might be Catwoman.
Cypher.
Could be
Now,
Catwoman.
Cypher.
Yeah, now Cypher.
Could be Catwoman. What? She Bat? Y'all don't think She Bat? No.
No.
Listen, Hollywood's into women. Hollywood's into women. A
Yeah, they
woman
getting the
has
women,
got
they
to
get
be in
enough.
that movie.
They got enough. I mean, you're gonna have
You're right.
what's her name in it?
Catwoman.
No, not just Catwoman, but you're gonna have Poison Ivy at some point.
Yep.
She can be poisoning the
She might be in it.
of different industries and stuff like that. And Batman's trying to figure out who's poisoning these guys.
I want to see
Yeah.
Punchline in that bitch. I want to see
You know, might have
Joker and
Joker.
Punchline.
Punchline would be dope because we never seen Punchline on the big screen before, so that would be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
he-
sadly, we won't get it.
But nah, we ain't gonna get that. But I think
Canary.
yeah, Black Canary. I
Black
mean,
Canary.
there's a lot of you got shit Huntress.
100, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to put a female in the movie. There's no Batman movie
I want to see a Huntress
that doesn't
movie.
have a.
Me too.
I want to see a Huntress movie, dog. Shout out to DC, man. Do that
I
shit.
want to see. I want to see the Batgirl movie. That's what I
Italian.
want to see because
Well, I mean, you got
Batwoman.
Batgirl, Batwoman, and the Huntress as a villain. Like, you know what I'm saying? As her trying to hunt down the Huntress because she's killing off mobsters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Assassinating people, you know? On some
Yeah.
wild stuff, man.
Yeah, that would be wild, man.
Shit, you know what I really want to see though? I want to see a Green Arrow movie. That me personally,
If they do it, I
like
only
Green
want to see it
Arrow.
if they do it right. I only want to see it if they do it right because I never liked the Arrow show. I just didn't like
You
it.
ain't like the Arrow show?
No, I never liked it, bro. I never liked it. Everybody loves it, but I'm the only person in America, maybe in the world,
I
even,
didn't
that
watch
didn't like the Arrow show.
I
didn't watch it.
I liked it until then they started crossing everybody over, but then
Arrowverse.
Diggle became the Green Lantern at some point. You know, it was his destiny to be that, or what have you. But I mean, it was cool, man. I mean, the Arrowverse, the Flash, I really liked it, man. It was very entertaining for what it was, and they got it right on the characters. They didn't have any fucked up characters. They had everyone right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like how the movies you're like, oh man, they messing something up.
Right.
They had it right.
Mm.
You know?
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, as long as the movie's as good as the show was choreography wise and that, because I mean, I didn't watch the show because I really just didn't get into network TV, but the choreography was amazing. I did catch. I watched like the first couple of episodes just to kind of get the idea of it. After all the hype, I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, that's a dope.
Yeah.
But I mean, Green Arrow,
especially when they had my boy in there, man.
there's so many characters.
Gorilla Grodd, son.
Gorilla Grodd.
Yeah, they had everybody in that. They had Mr. Terrific, but he had a ponytail. They had
Gorilla Grodd would be dope for a movie, man. Gorilla Grodd.
That would be fly.
If they bring in Gorilla Grodd, they have to do the Legion of Doom.
That's what I want to see.
Legion of Doom, man.
Don't get my hopes up high, man.
I want to
don't come in. Listen, man. I love you like a brother, but don't come in here and get my hopes up high, bro. Don't do that to me.
Legion of
I think that's what.
Because I would love to. I love the Legion of Doom. I love that whole thing, the Legion of Doom. I love that, man.
James Gunn
Challenge of the Super Friends. That was my joint.
Trust me, James Gunn is going to give us the Legion of Doom. Trust me.
Facts.
With this Superman movie,
I hope you do.
We're going to see pieces to the puzzle.
It's already
the Hall of Doom.
He's already planning it out.
Yeah,
I guarantee you, he's got the Legion of Doom in a folder somewhere.
We're gonna see, Black. We're gonna see the Super Friends, of course.
Joker.
Yeah, we're gonna see all of them. What's the other one? We're gonna see Solomon Grundy. We're gonna see him. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. He's a comic.
I hope so, man.
Dude too. So he knows that's what we want. He knows the best way to get the money out the pockets.
And he's not only is he a comic dude, he's a villain team dude.
Yeah. He loves the villains. Who don't love the villains?
Y'all get me hyped, man. Y'all get me hyped.
Bro, villain teams. That's what he does. Villain teams.
Villain teams are the best, man. They got more dynamics. They're just wild. I mean, the morals is everywhere around. You know what I'm saying? They got abused by the people who was supposed to have the most morality. So they go against them. So now we're looking at them as immoral, but they're actually the ones who are moral because they were the victims.
Bro.
And they only lashed out against those who victimized them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I rock with the villains, man.
Oh yeah.
Rock with the villains. The villains are misunderstood, man. I mean, the true villains, not the psychopathic. Well, Joker. I don't know. Joker is a questionable. He's the only wild card there is. Like to any organizational,
He's not really.
he's
Yeah, Joker's not really in the Legion of Doom.
nah. He appears once.
No, he never was. No, he never was with the Legion of
Not a
Doom.
member.
And
No, he never was. No, he wasn't with the Legion of Doom. But if they came out, let's just say McFarlane dropped a Hall of Doom, uh,
Hmm.
Hall of Doom vehicle, would you support it?
Hall of Doom vehicle. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
The Hall of Doom. The Hall of Doom is like a vehicle. Remember, it flies. I mean, it picks up, it flies. Remember,
McFarlane? Of
if
course.
he dropped the Hall of Doom vehicle, would you
Oh
support it?
yeah.
Well, he should do it with the superpowers. It's easy to do it with that scale. But I don't
Yeah, the ones that he put out. Yeah,
continue it with that scale though. You know, being all that's happening with DC and what is it, Mattel? I don't know if he's gonna be producing more of the superpower stuff. If he does continue to produce superpowers, he should do the Legion of Doom, their Hall of Doom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he should. It's only right. And the Hall of Justice, because that was a carrying case. Remember, the Hall of Justice.
that was. No, Justice was. It was a carrying case.
Yeah.
You're right.
You know what I mean? So Hall of Doom,
Yeah.
that'd be dope. I could buy into that.
Ooh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, because that was always dope. I always like to see that, and was bugged out about the Hall of Doom. It looked like a Darth Vader mask without without the top helmet. It just looked like Vader's face.
Yeah.
That's what
But
bugged me out when I
here's
was
the thing. Now here's the thing. He didn't put out all of the toy. He didn't put out all the figures for
little.
or toys for the Legion of Doom because we never got in the superpower joints. He never gave us Bizarro, Brainiac,
Gigantor.
Cheetah, Giganta, Gorilla Grodd.
Yeah.
Because the original members are Toyman, Solomon Grundy,
Mhm.
Sinestro, Scarecrow, Riddler, Gorilla Grodd, Giganta, Cheetah,
Yep.
Captain Cold, Brainiac, Black Manta,
Yeah.
Bizarro, and the leader was always Lex Luthor.
Yep. Yep.
And not super suit Lex Luthor,
No,
green suit Lex Luthor with the sash crossed across him with the
mm-hmm.
with the little sash when they and in the comics he could take them off and use them. They were like how Batman had the little tubes on his utility belt. They were like that.
Yeah.
For him, but they just went across his chest.
Yeah.
And fuck y'all head up.
And he had the wild high collar from the 70s collar on his suit.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah. Now, I was McFarlane. Yeah, they go Legion of Doom.
They got Black Manta.
Not Joker. They got Joker in there. That's not no Joker. Joker.
It's the newer version.
No, that's the newer version. Because the actually the Hall of Doom has Joker, but yeah, you got Captain Cold, Cheetah, Gigantic, Gorilla Grodd, Riddler, Scarecrow, Sinestro, Solomon Grundy, Toyman, Bizarro, Black Manta, and Brainiac, and Lex Luthor.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna fuck you up though. Watch this. Blum.
Yep,
that's the original. That's the 70s. Look at Toyman. That's the original Toyman.
Yep, he looks wild.
And the original Brainiac.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Brainiac.
Yeah, Brainiac.
That's the original Brainiac.
Definitely some 70s, 60s.
Everybody's up there. Yeah, you got from the left. You got Lex Luthor on the left.
That's Lex Luthor.
Captain
Brainiac.
Cold, Giganta, Bizarro.
That's Bizarro. That's Gorilla Grodd.
Cheetah, Sinestro, Riddler,
Black Manta. Toyman. That's Toyman right there.
Scarecrow, and Grundy.
Solomon Grundy. Born on a Monday.
Look who's in the middle though. Gorilla Grodd.
Real brain behind the situation. Yeah, you stupid. Oh, Gorilla Grodd's the real brains behind the situation.
Yeah, he is actually.
This is like every DC villain, actually.
Yeah, that's like all of them, and they just saying Legion of Doom. Stop it. we all know who the original Legion of
That's
Doom
the
is.
motherfucker I remember. That's the Legion of
Yeah,
Doom I know.
yeah, that's the Legion of Doom I know. And like
Shit.
McFarlane should just do. If McFarlane did a whole line just to Legion, I would buy every last one of them. But they got to be in the original costumes like that. That
Yeah.
would be dope. Yeah, because the Lex Luthor he put out, I don't like it. I want a Lex Luthor, but I don't. I would never buy it because the one he put out, it just I don't know. Or put one out with the super suit when he had his super suit. He won't put. I don't know why he never put that one out either. And if he can hear me, put it out so we can buy it.
That's real.
Yeah. And give us a Legion of Doom vehicle. So just take my money.
Saturday
Legion of
morning,
Doom.
y'all.
That's dope, bro. That's dope.
Saturday
I have
morning.
all. I have all of those on DVD. I have the Challenge of the Super Friends.
Yeah, I have.
Uh, Superpower Hour.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of different ones. I think I have every last. I even got the ones of Wendy and Marvin.
Did you get the Christmas special one? When the Doom
Yeah.
they tried to kidnap Santa Claus. Everybody tries to kidnap Santa Claus for some reason. Yeah.
Cause, bro, you gotta be gangster. If you can successfully kidnap Santa Claus, you the man.
Yo, did y'all see that what you call it? Thing with the rock and old boy?
That was good.
Red
That
one? That
was
was decent.
actually good, man. That was
What is
actually
this
good.
Legion
Yeah, I
of
watched Red One. It
Superheroes?
was decent. It wasn't
Yeah,
bad.
I like it. That's a good Christmas movie for now on.
Legion of Super. Oh, the Legion of Superheroes. They're from. That
I
should
don't
be the
know
ones
none
from
of
the
them
future.
motherfuckers. I don't know none of
Yeah,
them.
Legion of Superheroes. Now that's a storyline where Superman. They come. The Legion of Superheroes they're way in the future, and they come to the past and recruit Superman as a boy,
Mm.
and they help him hone his powers, and then he runs with the Legion of Superheroes.
Mm.
Um,
They have
but
three.
there's like
They have three.
Brainiac. Yeah, the Brainiac. They're like Brainiac 19 is one of them.
Mhm.
What's the other? Not Molecular Lab. I'm thinking of Hanna Barbera. What's his name? Wonder Boy or something like that.
Yeah.
You got Superman, but
Like
it's
his
like they
descendant.
formed a
One
whole
of his descendants is on that team. I forget what the name is.
Superman.
Yeah, Superman's descendant. Because
Yeah,
remember,
and they've changed.
yeah.
Yeah, because they've changed it a few times of who is in it. Because you got shit. I know it's Brainiac 5. I know I'm like, man, but it's Brainiac 5,
You
Lightning
got
Lad,
Superboy, you
Chameleon
got
Boy,
Cosmic Boy,
Chameleon Boy,
Saturn Girl,
Saturn Girl, Saturn Girl. I remember her. Bouncing Boy, Cosmic Boy,
Colossal Boy, Ultra Boy, Phantom
Invisible
Girl,
Kid, Invisible Kid, Mon El. That's the one I was
Sleeping
trying to get out.
Violet,
Yeah, that's
Mon El,
yeah,
Mon El,
Brainiac
Phantom
5,
Girl,
Triplicate Girl.
Timberwolf, Block, Dream Girl, Sun Boy,
You know, a lot of
Ultra
these
Boy.
characters, the Invincible show, you can see a lot of these characters kind of like inspired some of these characters on Invincible as well, like
yeah.
Duplicate,
Hmm.
Yeah,
triplicate,
Elemental Lad.
triplicate, triplicate girl. That's Duplicate
Yep.
or
Yeah,
Duplicate girl.
Elemental Lad. That's Black
But
Lightning.
definitely Mon El is the descendant. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Mon El was the one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot about Mon El
Yeah.
and Superboy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
But now that's a dope storyline, and they even put out a cartoon series for it, and it was actually good. It was actually really good. Um, I think it was only like 2 seasons though, and then they ended it. But it was either 2 or 3 seasons, and it was good. It wasn't bad.
EGC, I had to shout him out. He said that dude Ace Vane ruined Legion of Doom and the Super Friends for me. Yeah, because he do all the voiceovers, the gangster hood ghetto voiceovers for the Super Friends, and Legion of Doom is funny as hell. That shit is
Yeah,
funny as hell.
that's like
Hey,
the dude that did the voice of Mumra and
Mm.
Monstar. I watched the I
Uh,
watched the I
Jamaican
watched the interview. Yeah, I watched the interview one time, man. I was just flipping through YouTube, and
Rod,
they
son.
would one of the other act because the guy died. He passed away
Yeah.
a few years back.
Mhm.
The guy was like one of the guys that worked with him was like he was like, yeah, man, when he used to do Mumra, he said we used to step back. And he was like,
Cause he
what
be
was his
spitting
name?
on their
Robin, I think it was Robin Atkins or whatever his name is. But they said we used to step back. They said because he would get into it. They said he would raise his hands
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he would be like, turn spirits. Or they said he'd be spitting and he'd be strolling and be like, transform. And he was like, yo, he said we would just get back and be like, yo, like he's really into this.
Yeah,
So he
gotta be.
said, and
bro. Mama
the one
was
guy
the
was like,
fucking best, bro. That
he
was
said,
some of the best
he
voice
said,
acting.
yeah, it was. And the guy was like, I'm glad they only did that once per show. He said, because I don't think I could take it if he did it 2 or 3
That,
times in one
that
show.
that was crazy when he did it, and he be looking at it like, lying no boy.
Yeah,
I'd be like, yo.
Yeah,
I was like, yo,
yeah.
crazy.
He was also the voice of Monstar.
yeah,
Yes,
He was also
Monster.
yeah,
the
Same,
voice of
same
yeah,
Monstar.
exact
Yeah,
because
character.
Earl Hammond. Earl Hammond is his name.
yeah, because the voices of Silverhawks and Thundercats were the same.
They
Uh,
were the same fucking. They were basically the same
same thing.
characters. They were just It was
Yeah,
like these are
yeah.
cats,
So
these
the
are hawks.
same cast. Yeah,
That was the same fucking
Yeah,
thing. Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah,
Which
Earl
is cool.
Hammond.
I
and
mean,
he
you had
had
it
to
for
laugh.
G.I. Joe and Transformers. You had the same types of voices.
Right. Starscream and
Yeah, you did
And
Starscream.
but that was
Yeah,
the business, man. You had your go-to people who did the voiceovers for. Look at Hanna Barbera. Period.
Jaga.
You
Yep,
know what I'm
Jaga.
saying? So it's like,
yeah, and yes, you're right. EGC he did Jaga as well. Yep. But that's like 2 different voices. When he did Jaga to Mumra, that's like
you change it
that's
up enough
talent, right?
where you're
You
like,
could right.
no,
Yeah, you couldn't tell. Yeah.
you,
But he did, but like I said, and even when he did Silverhawks, when he did Monstar, you could tell you was like, yo, that's the dude that do Mumra. You could just tell.
I try to put a tape together for some voiceover. I still might do it. I
Mhm.
did this way back in the day. I should do it now.
You should, man.
Do some
We can, yeah, it should. It might it would be a godsend.
This Bane is nice.
Commander doing the Coleman or doing the force is strong with him. Some shit like
Yeah.
that. You know, man. I kind of throw
Oh,
my
Frank
head
Oz.
in
Yeah,
certain
Frank Oz.
characters. Certain
Yeah,
characters,
yeah.
I know how to throw. I could do
Right.
Elmo. I could do a few of them. All I have to do is hear them for a little bit, and then I can do
Yeah.
their voice.
Then I can do them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
cool. So these guys had like real heavy talent for switching up because sometimes their dialogue has to be between the characters that they're doing. Like let's say Mumra and Jaga had a conversation. You got to throw your voice
Mm.
at some point. Sometimes you can record and then you record the other one, but in most cases, if you want it seamless, sometimes you had to throw your voice back and forth.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of stress on your vocal cords too. A lot of those
Yeah.
guys when they finish their careers, their voice they stay groggy like this because they use their. So they've been doing
Oh,
that.
they voice so much. Yeah. You know whose voice is messed up like that now because he did DMC. He said he used to, he made his voice sound the way you hear it sound, and they did something with the mic, so it gave him that, that distinctive sound that his voice was like that nasal type, and that's why he talks the way he does now. He
Damn.
says,
No,
yeah,
he will always yell in the mic. But a lot of those rappers back in the day used to have
Who?
that voice, huh?
DMC.
Who?
DMC.
Oh.
But a
Yeah.
lot
Yeah,
of them
DMC's
used to
voice
have
is messed up
their
like that.
when they rock the mic, they try to present themselves like superheroes. So they would throw their voice like superheroes. I'm on the mic. They'll let you know. They put the
Yeah.
force behind it. And a lot of MCs did that way back, like Curtis Blow. Curtis Blow,
Yeah.
one of the original party movers, you know what I'm saying? The first
Mhm.
superstar hip hopper solo,
Mhm.
Solo artist, yeah.
One of the original.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't just some artist's renditioning of Bane here. This is actually the Bane from the new Batman Absolute. or Absolute Batman, I guess you call it. So this is the Absolute Bane by Graham Nolan.
He look hard.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he do.
Bane.
You remind me of old
He
boy.
do.
If y'all watch Reacher, when he was on the show, old dude, he's big, but there was a dude
Yeah.
that was bigger than Reacher.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah. Batman is big, but this motherfucker is bigger. Like that.
There.
Yeah, that's I'm glad because you know how Absolute kind of flip shit around. So I'm glad that they kept Bane, being a big imposing dude, even though Batman's a big imposing dude in this version.
yeah.
They kept it, so I think he's dope.
I picked up some issues from
Uh
my
oh.
brother and I. If y'all haven't
Alrighty,
got
yeah.
y'all, because it's new comics Wednesday. Got my
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go. I didn't have a chance to hit the store, but I'm gonna hit it tomorrow or
covers
Saturday.
hard.
Oh hell yeah! I can't see
Listen,
who's
fellas,
that
I
on
got.
there.
Oh,
You gotta
I
go
look
still.
like Storm Shadow. Yeah, I gotta roll out. But it's just,
All right, Cobra Commander.
All right.
is that
Yeah,
Cobra?
we
I
about
thought
to
it was
wrap it
Storm
up.
Shadow. I thought it was Storm Shadow on that other cover, right? Or no?
No,
Cobra,
it's the new. It's that Cobra Commander with the black suit,
yeah,
and he's like chained to the
That's,
wall.
yeah.
that's hard, bro.
Yeah, that's dope.
It's cover. I
I
mean,
want to
Yeah.
read that comic. They said he did. I don't know. Cobra Commander just did something in the comic that gave
Andy
him an
Kubert.
upgrade.
Yeah, I got it, but I ain't fucking get there yet.
Yeah, Andy Kubert. Man, this dude, he does dope covers.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, shit is hard, bro.
That is hard, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, man. But yeah, Snoop Dogg gonna bounce out, man. Be safe. We're gonna wrap it up, man. And we had a good show, y'all. We talked about the new Daredevil episode 5 and 6. We had the double D feature. Yeah, man, that was good.
I'm
It
gonna
was
have to
real
check
good.
that.
Yeah, definitely. Daredevil's back in the suit, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, man, we'll be back Saturday with some a great show for y'all as well. Every Saturday and every Wednesday at 7 p.m. You know how we do. And yes, shout out to this chat, man. EGC, Slade, everybody, man. Peace, everybody. Thanks for coming and chopping it up with us as always. Hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. And we'll see you guys round the way next Saturday. Peace.
Peace.
Peace. Peace.